We live in a society where food is available 24/7, but also in one that glorifies unhealthy body standards. This conflict has created an industry that is continuously growing, the diet industry. Before I practiced minimalism, food consumed a huge amount of my energy. I was constantly thinking about how to create the perfect diet, which also limited my social life. In addition, the variety is just overwhelming. New recipes everywhere and this huge amount of products in the supermarket. Minimalism has given me the space to reflect on how much I feel overwhelmed with my diet. I was ready to just let go. But how? How do I declutter my diet? I remember the packing party experiment from the minimalists. Pack everything away and only bring back what you need. And that's exactly what I did. I started from zero and questioned, what diet habits do I actually need? And here's a question for you. What diet rules do you have in your head and follow without ever questioning their usefulness? By letting go, I realized that I feel my best when I eat whatever I want and whatever is served to me, but just in smaller portions. So that is one rule I kept. Eat everything, but only when you're hungry and stop when you're full. As for my everyday diet, I decided that I wanted to build 2 default meals that cover most of my essentials. That way, whatever else I eat that day, I am covered. So what does that actually look like day to day? My breakfast consists out of 3 things: my sprouted grain mix, soy milk, and an apple. Depending on how much time I have, I may add some toppings. Around 12, I have my second default meal: tempeh or tofu, buckwheat, broccoli or kale, sauerkraut or kimchi, and tahini. This is the perfect combination. It tastes super yummy and it's so nutrient-dense yet vegan. And between 6 and 8 p.m. I then cook dinner with my husband. Because to us, dinner is a small ritual to connect. And because my base is already covered, this meal can be whatever we feel like. And that's how I simplified my diet. But if you're now thinking, wait, doesn't dinner get complicated now? Meal planning, meal prep, the whole thing. Let's talk about how I simplified my cooking. I used to spend hours scrolling through recipes, buying new ingredients, but I ended up still eating the same thing. But then something shifted. I ate the most delicious vegan tasting menu in a restaurant. I had to ask the chef about his secret, and he said, "It isn't that hard. You just have to find creative ways to balance taste, texture, and color." And that line stuck with me. I started experimenting, and a simple pattern emerged. A great meal always has multiple elements of these 3 categories. Taste, the right mix of sweet, sour, bitter, umami, and salty. Texture, contrast between smooth, crunchy, creamy, chewy, and so on. And color, different colors mixed to satisfy the visual experience. Let me show you some examples. Marinade recipes often combine different flavor elements. So if I want to create a marinade for my tempeh, I'll mix soy sauce for umami, a bit of lemon juice for acidity, some salt, tahini for a touch of bitterness, and honey for sweetness. You don't always need to include every flavor element, but the more you combine, the more complex taste experience becomes. My point is, it usually doesn't make a big difference whether you use honey, sugar, or date syrup, for example. That way, you can stay creative without having to buy a ton of ingredients. Next, texture. Combining different textures matters most when we're craving a full sensory experience. For example, for a cozy movie night, let's mix up a dip with chunky tomatoes, moist cucumbers, crunchy onions, crumbly feta, creamy yogurt, and then scoop it up with crispy tortilla chips. A true treat for all the senses. And lastly, color. When you want to create a nice recipe, always think about mixing up different colors like I do it here with this plain rice that turns into a colorful rainbow bowl. It doesn't have to be much, but contrast makes all the difference. If you want to try out this technique, I created a little cheat sheet that I always use. It's called The Anatomy of a Perfect Meal, and you can download it for free in the description. Now let's talk about the last problem I had before I started to practice minimalism: food shopping. I used to spend so much time shopping for food, always chasing some new, super specific products like the perfect protein pasta. I used to also struggle with an overflowing pantry that led either to me overeating or food waste. Minimalism changed that. When I simplified my diet and started building my default meals around local, easy-to-find ingredients, I realized most of those niche products, they are just marketing. You don't need 7 types of nut butter to live well. You need a few good basics you can always rely on. The solution for me was to create one base shopping list. It includes everything we love to eat regularly. The list is organized by supermarket aisles, so when we shop we can simply walk through once without zigzagging around. We check the list 2 times per week and tick off what we still have. Everything without a tick goes on the grocery run. I also made sure that all the items on this list are available in basically every supermarket around us. What's one thing you always buy that you could actually simplify or replace with something local? If you feel like it, share it in the comments. If we ever overshop, I use the project pan logic for my pantry. Don't buy new items until we can see the bottom of the drawer again. And one last rule, first in, first out. Whenever I create my meals, I check what's about to go bad and create a meal from that first. So let's sum it up. How did minimalism actually impact my diet? First, it helped me to recognize unhealthy eating patterns and let them go. Secondly, it gave me the space to create default menus to cover all my nutritional needs. Thirdly, it created space that I can let go of my fears and enjoy social eating. It then teach me how to create an amazing meal with the anatomy of a perfect meal with even the most limited supply. And lastly, it helped me to systemize shopping so that it doesn't take up mental energy. Which of these tips did you find most helpful? Let me know in the comments, because this video idea was actually also created by one of you lovely followers. Comment, I was inspired by that and decided to share about it. I see you girls soon. Bye!